Testing. Okay, I'm gonna do a vlog. I've spent last week sort of doing a rough life history of where I've been, what I've been through, and I sort of want to put it in vlog form. So here we go. I'm not well. I've called it gay, addicted and broken, although it's a lot more than that. So, I mean, the thing is that I needed to speak about a few things. I needed to write things down and look at my past. It's something I've done before, probably to my detriment too many times, but you know, I've just put it down on paper, and here we go. So, you know, I need to write. I want to speak about a few things. My dreams are lucid. I'm sleeping so much, so anxious in fetal position, in agony, mental and physical. This is my breakdown of breakdowns. I've lost count. I've got a gambling problem that's given me actual physical and mental withdrawal. I know withdrawal, physically and mentally. I know this with alcohol. This is a very similar thing. My teeth and gums feel knackered. I feel old. I feel worn. I wake up and my teeth and nerves are on fire. My whole body is sick and nervy. I use a mouth guard during the night, but it's not helping me right now. I gnash my teeth at night. When I'm waking, my body is rattling. My dreams are lucid. My dreams are bringing up thoughts of all sorts of bad shit from childhood to present day. And there's a sleep used to be something I could rely on to escape, and it's not like that anymore. Sleep is now just a continual waking nightmare. There's a feeling throughout the whole dream of anxiety, fear and panic. It's not pleasant. A lot of this I'm reading and a lot I'm just going to ramble on about, but I'm amazed. I wrote here, I'm amazed how and why my body remains alive with any trace of sanity. So I'm going to go on to my childhood. I'm going to start at the beginning and go brief. So I was born in Thurso, Caithness, Scotland, January the 8th, 1977. Thurso's in Caithness, top of Scotland. I'm the son of Colin Pentland, the son of my mother's Patricia Pentland, younger brother to Karen and Kim Pentland. Mum and Dad were from Durham originally. My dad's dad was an MP for Labour. Norman Pentland. My middle name is also Norman. My mum's mum and dad I really don't know too much. I know my mum's dad was an alcoholic. I have no in-depth idea. My mum was the youngest of 8 sisters, so she had a large family. Her dad was a Glaswegian alcoholic. Yet mum and dad were born and raised in Durham, I believe. Growing up, I was born in Thurso, so mum and dad had moved up to Thurso. Dad had got a job in this nuclear reactor called Dounreay, and they had the 2 daughters, my 2 eldest sisters. By the time they'd moved up there, when they moved up there, I was born. So I was born January the 8th, 1977. I've put here straight away, growing up I felt Scottish, but never quite as Scottish as some Thurso people. The Patterson family, for example, who were friends of the family, good friends of the family, they were very Thurso, very Caithness, very much with the lingo, and I never quite felt like I fitted in there. The Pattersons all seemed to have a close, very loving family, and I envied that. I don't think I envied that so much at the time, but looking back now I do. I envy that. I never knew my grandparents. My dad's mum and My dad's mum had dementia, she passed away. Granddad, the MP for Labour, he died in 1972, so way before I was even thought about. Mum and dad, as I say, no idea really. I can't recall how they died. I may have been told, I can't recall. So as a young kid, we had nursery school, was sort of the first education, sort of my first memories, and my mum was a nursery teacher at the school in the town hall in Thurso, and that was pretty odd. We had milk and biscuits, play. Mum was a disciplinarian, as I say, which was unusual. Then on to sort of 5 years old, I suppose, going to primary school, Pennyland Primary School. A wonderful school, lots of good memories. I did all sorts of things for hobbies from that point. I was joined the Beavers, I was in the Cubs, I was in the Scouts, the Sea Cadets, the Army Cadets. My sort of real memories of childhood was I was never bored, never. You hear older people now say, oh, those kids with their phones and, you know, and their video games, and they don't remember when we used to go outside and we'd play and we'd, you know, and that was sort of the deal with my childhood, I guess. I've written here, days were never boring, never. Once bored, never. I still don't quite understand when someone says, I am bored. Nothing to do. I wrote here, what the fuck? Do something. Are you lacking in imagination or friends or what? What is boring? I'm one of these people, yeah, I don't get bored. I get on with my own company to a reasonable degree. So, certainly growing up, never boring. Mum was always working, I've written here. Dad was working at Dunray, which is the reason that they'd moved from Newcastle area all the way to Scotland. I've written here, to this day I have no idea what my dad did. Sitting in an office waiting for an explosion, I think. I asked him many times what he did and I never got a rational explanation, which is true. I did ask him a lot, and I think he tried to tell me what he did, but I don't know. I think the job was a bit of a monitoring situation, and he was responsible for a few men and women. I don't know. My sisters were teenagers, older than me, and getting boyfriends. My sister Karen always seemed to be bullied by my father. That was true. Karen was sort of heavy metal. She was the eldest, punked. She had pierced ears, bit of a rebel. Kim was the middle of the kids, and she was more of a sort of moderate mod. They both liked pretty cool music. One of my earliest memories is listening to music and thinking I used to be a drummer in a past life. I think that's true, actually. I remember one New Year, we used to have big New Year parties, and listening to some music, and I was really young, and listening to the beat and thinking for some reason I was a drummer in the 60s in a past life. Bonkers, but it was a kid's thought, you know. Christmas was a big deal, and family were close and together, and Mum and Dad and Kim and Karen, it was all a big deal. Christmas was fun. Too many presents for me, myself being the youngest kid, so you know there's that thing that you're always spoiled. My friends seemed to think I was spoiled. I probably was. My mum and dad absolutely bought into the middle class work, holiday maybe twice a year, and then you retire. You know, you pay the mortgage off and you retire. They bought into that whole concept. That was it, as so many people did. They absolutely did, and why not? It's a fair enough deal, I suppose. Maybe not so much these days. I don't think it swims that well. Growing up, I had loads of friends dotted all over Thurso. I felt average, never too liked, but you know, never quite hated. I had an early love for computers, video games, horror movies, playing outside and in. As I say, good childhood, you know. And this is where it sort of changes. And I'll probably stop at this point because my next segment will concern puberty. Puberty is a fucker. Puberty is not a pleasant time for most kids. I just realised I've wrote so much. This could be like, and if I continue to ramble on the way I ramble, this could be like 20 episodes thing. I've only got to the puberty stage, so that's when it gets a bit filthy. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that.